but he's another one who wouldn't have needed it.
Yeah, he's another guy who wouldn't have needed it. Triple H didn't need it.
So it's hard to decide, hard to pick,
sure as
who it
fuck,
should be.
Sure as fuck wouldn't have been Giant Gonzalez. That's for damn sure.
No. No John Cena. He wouldn't have needed it either.
Nah, John Cena wouldn't have needed it. Here's
it's one of those things that it's really hard to pick.
Here's what I'm thinking, man. I'm thinking maybe there's one or two guys that I can think of right off the top of the bat. One of them maybe not, but the one that's the maybe not would be Randy Orton. You figure it's
we did have that legend killer thing for a little bit.
Well, yeah, he had that legend killer thing, but it's also all right, he's already well established. Does he need this? It's kind of debatable.
That's the problem with picking a lot of people is that they don't really need it. I was like, I would love to see Brett beat him, but he doesn't need it either.
No. What are you gonna have Austin beat him at WrestleMania? He's Austin doesn't really need it either. He was the hottest fucking thing in the company. Rock didn't need it.
Right. Doink the Clown. There we go. Done. He whoopee cushions him. 1, 2, 3. Streak's over.
Hits him in the face with a fucking pie. Taker falls over. 1, 2, 3. We're done. Cornette fucking blows a gasket backstage.
Oh man.
So now here, if I'm going to take a serious.
Ooh. Oh yeah, you go ahead first. I just had a good one, but you go ahead.
If I was going to take a serious fucking swing at it, Daniel Bryan.
That's what I was going to say. Before he won the title at Mania, Daniel Bryan would have been an awesome pick.
No, dude,
because he got all that super attention and shit. People loved him.
No, so here's the thing that you do for it, man. You put the title on Taker and whatnot going into WrestleMania. You have it all set up so that, he's part of the Authority. He's the big villain and whatnot. And then you set up Daniel Bryan to go in there. So again, he goes up against Triple H, gets his ass kicked. Now he's gonna go up against the Undertaker, who's never lost at WrestleMania, has the fucking title.
They built it up in such a way that they planned, they gave Undertaker, or they set it up so Undertaker would have the title going into WrestleMania, so that basically Daniel Bryan would have no shot at the title, because it's Undertaker's never lost.
Yeah.
So if you want to win the title, you're gonna have to get through him.
Yeah.
And look at his streak. You really think you're gonna beat him? That kind of thing. And then he goes into WrestleMania, wins the title, and beats the streak.
Yeah, but
although maybe that's a little too much at once.
Maybe, but
that's a hefty brew right there.
It's no different than it's Brock Lesnar. Okay, he won this, he beats the streak. All right, what did that do?
But there was no title on the line.
Yeah, there was no title on the line, so it adds a little bit.
I think if there was a title on the line, that adds a whole another level of heavy.
Exactly.
So you're just oh god, your heart kind.
Exactly. And but knowing WWE, they would probably be it's going to be a triple threat match. It'll be Daniel Bryan versus Undertaker versus Randy Orton, or they'd have Batista come back or something like that, and they would just have Bryan pin whoever's not named the Undertaker, and just be oh look, Undertaker's never been pinned at WrestleMania. It's
yeah,
he didn't win the match, so the streak is broken. But
could have done Mick Foley back in the day. Mankind.
No, I'm saying, did Mick really?
If it was pre-King of the Ring.
I don't know, man. It's again, it's one of those things who needed that gigantic push of he beat the Undertaker streak, and back then 97, 98, they didn't really care about it. They were just it's WrestleMania, whatever. Yeah, it wasn't until maybe 20 years in that he was just oh yeah, guess what? I'm 19-0 at fucking WrestleMania. So he, I don't.
Yeah.
You really think about
AJ Styles wouldn't have been a bad choice.
AJ Styles wouldn't have been a bad choice, but again, it's you look at his age. It's okay, how much longer is he going to be around here? Does he need that push?
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's sort of the problem with everybody.
God damn, there he goes again talking about the damn push. Here's a push. He's going to push you down the stairs, dumbass. Sassafras.
Eat some barbecue, sassafras. Or take a dump, huh?
Goddamn boomer sooner. But I just,
Oh man.
but I mean, dude, just think about that. Like, just WrestleMania 30, title belts on the line. Taker versus Daniel Bryan. Bryan's gonna be in the business for a lot fucking longer. Like, yeah, he's gonna take some time off because of fucking injury and whatnot, but still, he's gonna be around. But dude, just have fucking like Jim Ross and fucking Jerry Lawler calling that fucking match. Like Taker would have that kind of pull where he just like look at Vince and just go like, no, we're having JR for this one. Like, and Vince would fucking bring him back out.
Could have Sting break the streak, but he again doesn't need it.
No,
And again,
he didn't need it. Like he's already a legend in the business. He didn't need it.
yeah. Although they did like want to reestablish him in WWE once he eventually showed up there, but
Yeah, and he had 2 fucking matches. He didn't win either one of them.
yeah, and he got hurt.
Yeah. I would love to have heard Jim Ross like just reuse one of his lines on fucking Daniel Bryan, just like, pin him, pin the dead man, make yourself famous, come on, kid. That would have been fucking great. That would have been like, fuck yeah, pin him, dude.
I don't know. I don't know if ultimately I don't know if anyone should have broken the streak. Maybe it should have just ended with him not losing. You know, he goes all the way to WrestleMania, never lost at WrestleMania.
Cause I mean,
It's not like he walks out with a title. That's a little different. Where like he's champion and he retires. But if he just has this title of he never lost at WrestleMania, that's not such a bad thing because it's not an official like belt.
cause I mean it's actually, you know what? There's another guy that I'm thinking of that could have used that the fucking breaking the streak. Fucking Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
He could have done that. Fucking, CM Punk is kind of debatable, but I mean, again, you're talking to these guys like WWE.
Did he need it?
Yeah, did he need it? Like, well, I guess so, because apparently Triple H wasn't going to do the guy any fucking favors.
But he eventually did his pipe bomb thing, and he got over as hell. So
yeah,
he didn't need Taker for that.
Yeah, but this, like, the Taker thing was after the pipe bomb.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, because that was at WrestleMania 29.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
You could do something super heel and have Hogan come back and beat Taker's streak.
Oh, fuck no.
Because it's someone who doesn't need it whatsoever, and it's just like, of all the people to break it, Hogan comes back and takes the streak. Fuck you.
That would be the Hogan thing to do, though.
Yeah, it would be. It would be.
That would definitely be the Hogan thing to do. But no, man, I don't
know, man. I guess Daniel Bryan's the best pick, honestly.
I'd say Daniel Bryan or Bray Wyatt would be like the 2 big ones
Yeah.
that should have been like. You really think about it, like WWE was going to push fucking Roman Reigns regardless.
Yeah, and he was already at a point where he didn't need to beat the streak, so that wouldn't have really made sense, I don't think, honestly.
No, and like WrestleMania 30, like around when the streak got broken, like, like yeah, he was still on like the lower card, but he's like working his way up with the Shield. So it's like, okay, they already have this push planned for him. Like he doesn't need it,
right?
Not only that, it's taking away a push from somebody that actually does need it,
right?
I mean, how fucking great would that have been though? Like if Daniel Bryan breaks the fucking streak, and like WWE's like, oh, he's got a history of being a badass, pal. Like he choked Justin Roberts with a tie.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, that was actually why Daniel Bryan got fired when he was in NXT or Nexus or whatever it was.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, it's actually a funny story in Bryan's book. Like, I forget who the higher up was that talked to him about it. He's like, we gotta let you go. And he's like, okay. Like, what do you mean you're not upset? And he basically told him like, look, no, I've got exposure on WWE TV. I'm gonna make more money than I've made in my fucking life on the indies right now, and I'm gonna get better as a result of that too.
That's funny.
So I just loved it. He basically told him like, all right, fuck you guys. I'm gonna go make some money.
Go ahead and fire me. I'm gonna get better as a result.
Yeah, he was back within I think like a couple months to a year.
Man.
Yep.
I'm just glad that he's at a point where he's able to wrestle again because they were and Edge too. Like they both had that issue where I think they both had a similar thing, right, with their neck where they couldn't wrestle again. But
it's something similar to it, I think. But yeah, I know.
But ultimately, they were both able to get back in the ring, which is incredible, man. They were both like guaranteed not. You weren't going to see them come back. Like it was over.
Yeah, I mean, but again, it's like it's also one of those things. Like, okay, if Edge didn't come back, would I've been like, you know what, man, I really wanted to see him one more match or whatnot. I'd be like, you know what, man, I'm happy the guy's at least healthy enough that like he's got a family, he's able to play with his kid. Like that's the important thing. Like you really break that shit down.
Yeah. I got to admit, I never tuned in for him because I sort of tuned out of wrestling. I think sometime in either like 2000 or 2001. I forget when exactly, but I watched from like the early 90s to like the early aughts, the early 2000s.
Right.
And so like my memories of Edge are from Edge and Christian, or like when he debuted in the Brood and shit. But like especially those ladder matches that he had with the Dudley, or that they had with the Dudleys and
the Hardys,
shit like that. That was amazing.
Yeah,
and the Hardys, holy shit. Those TLC matches were amazing.
I'm trying to think. Do you have the network or no?
No.
No. Okay. So I was going to say, if you watch Edge versus Dolph Ziggler from the Royal Rumble, I want to say it was like 2010, 2011-ish. Only reason I remember that, like, I was actually there for that, like, at the Royal Rumble in Boston that year. And
oh, that's cool.
That was a damn good match, man. Like, WWE title on the line and whatnot. It was fucking good.
Who was the champ?
Edge was.
Like, Edge was the champ going into the match?
Yeah, Edge was the champ going into the match, and it was a stipulation that he could not use the spear.
He could not use the spear?
He couldn't use the spear.
Okay.
If he did it, he would have been
That's a very, like...
Yeah, they said, like...
a very 90s thing to have as a stipulation.
Well, yeah, because they're like, well, if he does use the spear, he's going to get disqualified. He gets disqualified, he's going to lose the title. And it's like, well, shit.
Oh, shit. If he gets disqualified, he loses the title also.
Yeah, like, if he uses the spear, yeah. Yeah. I know, wrestling's kind of ridiculous. You really break it down, but...
It really... Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's really nothing more ridiculous than wrestling, but it's still awesome.
Yeah. But still... But yeah, that was a really good title match. I'm trying to think. That was the year. Trying to think who won the fucking Rumble that year. I think it was Alberto Del Rio actually won the Royal Rumble that year.
Okay. Not a big fan of Del Rio.
No. It was like I just remember like it was me, one of the on-air guys, the producer of the show, and I think one of the interns came with us. And we were all taking, like, bets, like, all right, who's going to win the Rumble? Who's going to win the Rumble? And we're thinking, like, oh, fuck, like, how great would that be Undertaker comes back? Or, like, all right, what's the most weirdest thing that would happen? Oh, fuck, man, if Goldust comes back and wins this whole fucking thing, that'd be hilarious. But... Nope. No, I'm trying to think who, like, I think the guy that went longest that year, I think, was CM Punk, if I remember right.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because like at one point it was like him and like a couple members of his Straight Edge Society were in the ring at the same time, and they just kept tossing people out and whatnot.
That's cool.
I'm like, all right, cool, man, cool.
I never saw a Rumble live. I wish I had at one point gone to see a Rumble live. I did see a Survivor Series '93 live, and I saw a couple Raw tapings, including the one where Shawn Michaels lost his smile.
Yep.
But other than that happened around the corner from my house.
Yeah.
Where I live now.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I haven't. Oh, and I saw the pay-per-view with we went to Night of Champions in 2012, I think it was.
I think it was. Yeah, it was main event was Punk versus John Cena.
Yes. Which honestly, I thought was an awesome match.
It was. It was an awesome match. A lot of people were pissed off at the fucking end result, which was a double pin, so no winner.
Yeah, a bit of a stinker ending. I mean, kind of cool because it's different, but at the same time, like, that's your ending? Like, I don't know.
At the same time, it's also like, yeah, I know people want, like, the result and want, like, so there's got to be a winner, there's got to be a loser. It's like, that's kind of a cheap way to, to keep this kind of going and whatnot. Like,
yeah, that's the thing is it's kind of cheap.
Yeah. It's like, all right, kudos to you guys for not going the fucking route of, like, oh, well, somebody came in and interfered again.
Yeah, or like he gets counted out or a DQ or something.
Yeah.
What they goddamn to do?
So. Oh man.
Oh, but Survivor Series '93, that's where I got to see Taker wrestle, and as far as I know, that's the only time I ever got to see him. And that was